I began working in a local retirement home 2 years ago. And at first, I viewed it just like any other job, simply a way to make money. But it didn't take long for that to change. On my very first night out of training, I heard a woman calling out for help. I walked over to Irene's room and asked her what was wrong. A smile spread across her face. Irene wasn't in pain, crying out for help. She was just lonely. I talked with her a while, helped her to relax, and before I left, she said the most heartfelt and genuine thank you that I've ever heard. Unfortunately, many Americans are feeling the same as Irene was that night. Millions of our senior citizens find themselves living in substandard facilities that are unable to meet their needs and leave them lacking in the basic care that many of us simply take for granted. For a variety of reasons, older adults in American care facilities are suffering from a lack of proper care, whether it be physical, social, or emotional. And it is up to us to ensure that we take steps to fix the problem, to help the older generation achieve the comfort and dignity they deserve in the later stages of their lives. So today, we will attempt to get a better understanding of this complex issue by first assessing the scope of the problem, then analyzing the causes, before finally offering some simple solutions to help our elders living in resident facilities experience the quality of care that each and every one of them deserves. The concept of aging certainly isn't a new phenomenon. However, there are several factors at play that make aging an ever-changing problem in the U.S. So let's take a closer look at how the physical, social, and emotional aspects of aging all contribute to the issue at hand. Dr. Michelle Barnhart, a researcher at Oregon State University, explains that how a person feels and functions with respect to physical or mental competences determines their overall quality of life. Even those who are towards the end of their lives deserve proper physical and emotional care. Unmet healthcare needs lead to negative health outcomes. Gerontologist Dr. Jeffrey Allen reveals that up to 68% of those aged 65 or older will struggle to have their needs met as they decline, thus making their time remaining far more agonizing than is necessary. Additionally, older adults often deal with social isolation because of physical disabilities or simply lack of interaction. Seniors are often alone in their rooms for hours at a time without interacting with anyone. A report by the CDC from November 20th, 2021 asserts that this isolation leads to depression and feelings of loneliness. Social programming in an elder care facility might seem like a low priority in comparison to other forms of care, but according to Teresa Kalka, Activities Director of Southern Hills Nursing and Rehab Center, an active social life has a direct positive impact on all other aspects of a senior's health status. And to complete the unfortunate cycle, seniors whose physical or social needs go unmet often develop emotional problems as well, which can be quite severe and significantly impact their quality and even duration of life. When seniors' emotional needs go unmet, it can easily lead to a worsening of existing issues, the development of new problems, and a further sense of isolation and depression among an already at-risk population. Now that we've seen what the problem facing older adults in America is, let us now focus on why things are this way. Today we will talk about two causes: the lack of workers and our societal view of older adults. A study done by the University of South California School of Medicine on October 25, 2022, reveals that the healthcare shortage facing America today is more than an inconvenience. It's nothing short of a public health crisis. The U.S. News and World Report of June 22, 2022, reveals that up to 68% of nursing home care providers are facing moderate to high staffing shortages, with 48% facing a severe staffing shortage. Healthcare industry experts have been sounding the alarm about this lack of workers for decades, and several factors have contributed to make it the perfect storm. One factor is our aging population. The U.S. Census Bureau reported in 2021 that 16.8% of the U.S. population was age 65 or older, and they predict this number to increase to 21% by 2030. We did not have enough workers to meet our nation's elder care needs 5 years ago, and the pandemic certainly hurt those numbers even more. It's not hard to predict that this shortage is only set to worsen in the near future. The second, and perhaps far more significant cause of this issue is our societal view of our older population. Too often, we view our grandparents and other older family members as a burden, rather than a resource. In a world where nearly 65% of households have two working parents, our older generation is often neglected, staying home alone or shipped off to a nursing home that doesn't have the resources to handle the growing population. Psychologist Becky Levy asserts that children are taught at a young age that old equals weak, that once we reach a certain age, we are to be dealt with rather than valued. And this is a tragedy. Now that we've seen what the problem facing older adults in America is and looked at the causes, let us now focus on solutions. While the problem may seem daunting and many of us might feel there's nothing we can do about it, there are some changes that everyone can make, including, but not limited to, using positive language, including ageism in social justice conversations, and getting involved. As a small but important first step, changing our terminology can go a long way toward changing our mindset about older people. You may have noticed that I've been using the terms seniors and older adults today. This is because we are discouraged from using words such as geriatric or elderly. Although these terms are frequently used, stereotyping has limited them because of generalization and lack of specificity, according to the AARP Public Policy Institute. On the contrary, using more respectful and dignified terms such as seniors and older adults tend to frame these people in a more humanistic light and encourage us to see the person, not just their age. Furthermore, we need to include ageism in our conversations and initiatives for diversity, inclusion, and social justice. Too often, we assume that seniors are unaware of the world around them, and that as such, we can afford to overlook their unique needs and sensitivities. But just as we try to pay attention to the distinct voices of other marginalized populations in our society, we must do the same with our seniors to help raise awareness of their unique struggles and goals. The last and perhaps most important way we can positively impact the lives of our seniors is to get involved. Working in a nursing home might only be my cup of tea, but there are some changes that everyone can make. We could reach out to our own grandparents, even great-grandparents, and try to spend more time with them. Even a phone call once a week can make a world of difference. We could also seek out volunteering opportunities. According to Tasha Smith, a registered nurse and certified dementia practitioner, going to a local senior care facility even once a month will not only help the older adult's mental health, but it will help you to become a more well-rounded individual by gaining wisdom and learning how to best support those around you. Most people don't spend a whole lot of time thinking about senior care, and while it may seem like an issue that only impacts our grandparents, it will eventually become important to our parents, our siblings, and even ourselves. And that's why we need to start solving this problem today. By looking at the issues our seniors face, examining the underlying causes, and offering some practical solutions, we've seen that with a little bit of extra effort and attention, we can make a true difference. As modern medicine continues to improve and life expectancy goes up as a result, it's crucial that we find a way for those golden years to truly be golden.